or God will provide storm. We are finna harvest today, something that my wife has been working on. What do you have here?
Shalom, family. What I did was I planted some peanuts, and so these are all the different peanut plants. I just planted about maybe like 20, 20 peanuts. I planted about 20 peanuts, and then they
So
each
where do you
grew.
get the peanuts from?
This actually was from a harvest that we did the year before. We harvested the peanuts, and then I just saved some of whatever we had left over, and I just used those little single. I just shelled them and planted them, about 6 inches apart. It just ends up
E
growing, and then there's little yellow flowers. You'll start seeing yellow flowers. The yellow flowers have a little stem that goes into the ground like this, and that's where the peanut comes from. So when you pull it, I'll just go ahead and pull this out. You'll
Wow.
see the peanuts there. So we're just gonna get all these out and just see. And that's just. And they
Wow.
say that the peanuts are good for the soil. So like you'll switch. The next crop that I put in here won't be peanuts because the peanuts have aerated this soil and it's made this soil real good. So the next crop that I plant in here should. So we'll
All
just
praises to the Most High.
give praise to the Most High for what the beauty that He makes us see every day when we just look in nature and see
Yeah.
what He gave us. We can plant something and it'll just grow. Water it. You didn't have to do much with this. Just water it. No bugs got on it and ate up the leaves or anything like that. It doesn't grow too deep. And this way you don't have to dig. You don't have to dig to get it. You don't have to use a shovel to get it. If I would have done it in the ground, it would have been a little bit harder to pull up. But this is all just loose soil
Look at
with a
all
little
those
bit of
peanuts.
manure from the cow, the chickens, the goats, and a little bit of soil from just the store.
And so you're saying that since this little harvest takes about 3 months, you saying you can do this a few times a year
Oh yeah.
to be able to sustain yourself with at least some nuts and
Yep.
some good protein, right?
Yep.
If we don't have any a
Hmm.
meat source.
And the more space you have, if you did this like a small rectangular raised bed, you don't have to take up a lot of space, and you can grow. And then
Let
you
me
just
show.
keep
Hold that
keep
up.
some of what you have. So this is looks like one of the little plants, and this is what's all on it.
Could you hold some of those peanuts in your hand? We can get some of them.
So I think this plant probably I could have waited a little. I could have waited a little bit longer because a lot of these could have got bigger. But just to show you what we can get, and then I just keep some of these,
Keep the
replant it.
smaller ones and replant.
These peanuts.
Mm-hmm. So these are just a few of the peanuts that we got out of the garden. So we sit here and we laid them out and we let them dry for a few days to make sure that all the moisture and everything was like that was out of them. And so now they're good and they're dry and they're dried out. And so now what we want to do is just rinse them, clean them real good. Some water, making sure we just remove a lot of the dirt and the debris that has been left on to the peanuts. And so now, as we have washed and we have clean. And so now, as we have washed and we have cleansed the peanuts that we have got from the garden, these right here, that we want to make just a small roasted pan with. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna add salt to this water. And what we're gonna do is let these peanuts sit in some salt water for about 24 hours. You don't have to do it that long, but we're gonna do it for maybe 24 hours. And that allows these peanut shells to absorb that salt, and that gives it that good salty flavor. And what I'm using is just a little Morton sea salt. I'm gonna try the sea salt. And so we're gonna go with this right here. And we're just gonna add this to the water. Maybe a little too much. Let me get all that. This is just it. And so we're gonna let it sit in that salt water or that brine solution. We're gonna let it sit there, and we're gonna let these peanuts absorb this salt and get that flavor right before we roast them. And we're gonna see how that goes. Oh, all right. Now we are back. The peanuts have absorbed the salt. We have let them set in the brine solution of salt water. And now we're just gonna add these two eggs. All spaced out evenly and ready to go. And what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna pop these bad boys in the oven, and we're gonna see how they turn out. All right, let's go. Peanuts, I have to kind of turn them down a little bit. I have to go back down to about 275, but you see a lot of the salt has came out, and it has and so I would say about 275. All praises to the Most High. It's all praise and thank the Most High for allowing for us to have this harvest of peanuts. He is truly, truly a provider.